Happy day, children. In this video, we'll be seeing part 2 of chapter 2 operations with large numbers. So here the topic is subtraction. In the previous video, we saw how to do addition, and I hope you all are thorough with subtraction because we are learning subtraction from grade 1. So in subtraction, as you can see, there are two set of numbers. When you subtract a smaller number from a bigger number, you get the third number, which is called the difference. The answer of the subtraction sum is called as the difference, and the number on the top is called minuend and the number below it is called subtrahend. I repeat, the number on top is called minuend and the number below it is called subtrahend. So when I subtract 5 from 9, I get 4, 3 from 6 I get 3, 2 from 2 I get 0. So as you can see, I cannot subtract 6 from 3 because 6 is greater than 3. So in this case, I am going to borrow from the neighbor, from this person. So when I borrow from 2, 2 becomes 1 and I add 1 to 3, that becomes 13. 13 minus 6 gives you 7. And again now if you see, I cannot subtract 5 from 1 because from 2 already I have taken 1, so only 1 is left. So when I take 1, I don't take number 1 here. Now if you see, 2 is at 10,000 place. So I am borrowing 10,000. So 10,000 plus 3,000 becomes 13,000. So 13 minus 6,000 becomes 7,000. So here as you can see, it's only 1. So again I am going to borrow from this fellow. So this becomes 0 and it becomes 11. So 11 minus 5 becomes 6. Again I cannot subtract 1 from 0. So I have to borrow from the neighbor, but my neighbor is already 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow from this person. So 4 becomes 3. So from 4 to here it becomes 10. So as you know now this number has become 10. I can easily borrow from here. So if I borrow 1 from here, it becomes 9 and this number, particular number becomes 10. So 10 minus 1 is 9 and 9 minus 1 is 8 and 3 minus nothing is 3. So when you subtract these two numbers, you get the answer, the difference. Similarly, you can do for this sum as well. So when you cannot subtract, you are supposed to borrow. So borrowing, you all know the steps of borrowing. So when you do, you get the answer, that is called as the difference. So like in addition, here also you have story sums. So let's do this sum. There are 63,675 bags of wheat and rice together in the grain stock. The wheat bags are counted as 34,768 in number. Find the number of rice bags. So as you can see, this is the total number of bags of both wheat and rice in the grain stock. Now out of this much is the wheat bags, that is out of 63,675 bags, 34,768 bags are of wheat. So we have to find the rice bag. So as you all know, so try to read the questions carefully, children. The answer is always hidden in the question. So try to read the question 2-3 times. You get to know what kind of operation you are going to use. So as you can see, the total amount is given. Out of that, 1 is given. I have to find the other. So obviously I'm going to do subtraction. So whenever you get the question like how much is left, find the remaining or find the difference, kindly do subtraction. So with the help of the question, I'm going to write the statement. So number of wheat and rice bags together, that is 63,675, and number of wheat bags, that is 34,768. So when I subtract this 2, I get another number, and that will be the number of rice bags in the godown. So when I subtract this, I get this particular number. So this is the answer. So there are 28,907 rice bags in the grain stock. So whenever you get a question like this, kindly read the question twice and then write the statement. And then once you have read the question, you would have already identified what kind of operation you are going to use. Then write the statements accordingly and you can find the answer. The statements are the most important part of a story sum. So after subtraction, we'll be seeing multiplication. So as you all know, multiplication is nothing but repeated addition. So when you repeatedly add a number, you can use multiplication. For example, if I write 2 plus 2 plus 2, that is 2 plus 2 plus 2. I have written 2 3 times. So instead of writing 2 plus 2 plus 2, I can write 3 times 2, that is 3 into 2. So 3 times 2 is equal to 6, whereas 2 plus 2 plus 2 is also 6. So multiplication is again repeated addition. So let's learn multiplication with the help of the example given here. So children, last year you have done multiplication with smaller numbers, this year with a large number. So as you can see, this number is called the multiplicand, this is called the multiplier, and the answer is called the product. So the number which you multiply is called multiplicand, the number by which you multiply is called multiplier, and the answer is called the product. So let's start with this number. So as you can see, there are 3 numbers multiplied by 3 numbers. So I am always going to start with the number at ones place. So I am going to multiply all these 3 numbers with the number at ones place, that is 3. So 3 2s are 6, 3 4s are 12, 2 down, 1 goes up. 3 2s are 6, 6 plus 1 is 7. Now you are not going to start again from here. Here you are going to put x or 0. That is called as placeholder. You all must be knowing it. So I'm going to put a placeholder over here, and then I'm going to start writing the number. So the next number is the number at tens place. So that is number 2. So 2 into 2, that is 2 2s are 4. 2 4s are 8. Again 2 2s are 4. So I'm done here. Now I'm going to do the third set of numbers. So again, as it is the third set of number, I'm going to put 2 placeholders. So 1 and 2. So let's start with the third number. 1 2s are 2, 1 4s are 4, and 1 2s are 2. So you all remember here the property of multiplication. Any number multiplied by 1 will be the number itself. So after you write all the 3 sets, it's time to add them. So 6 plus x plus x. So that's nothing but 6. 2 plus 4, 6. 7 plus 8 is 15. 15 plus 2 is 17. So 7 down, 1 goes up. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. And 2 here. So after you perform all the steps, you add and you get the final answer, that is called the product. Similarly, if you see the number here, again here it's a 4 number multiplied by a 3 number. The same step follows here. So first I'm going to multiply this 4-digit number with the number at ones place, that is number 1. So 1 multiplied by any number will be the number itself. So 1 into 9 is 9, 1 into 6 is 6, 1 into 8 is 8, 1 into 2 is 2. Then I put a placeholder here. Then start with 5. 5 9s are 45. 5 down, 4 goes up. 5 6 are 30. 30 plus 4 is 34. 4 down, 3 goes up. 5 8s are 40. 40 plus 3 is 43. 3 down, 4 goes up. 5 2s are 10. 10 plus 4 is 14. Then again put placeholders. So this time 2 placeholders. So the placeholders will keep on increasing for each steps. Then 4 9s are 36. 6 down, 3 goes up. 4 6 are 24. 24 plus 3 is 27. 7 down, 2 goes up. 4 8s are 32. 32 plus 2 is 34. 4 down, 3 goes up. 4 2s are 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. So after you do all the steps, it's time to add. So when you add, you get the final answer, that is called as the product. So always remember children, multiplication is repeated addition. So let's see a story sum. So how much does Aman save if he saves rupees 50 per month? The question says that this boy, he saves rupees 50 every month. Per month means every month. So this boy saves rupees 50 every month. So how much he will save for 12 months, that is 1 year. 1 year consists of 12 months. So we have to find how much does he save for 1 year, that is 12 months. So we know that each month he saves rupees 50. So to find for 1 year, we have to multiply 50 with 12. So children, always remember, how can you identify multiplication sum? So whenever in the question they give you the value of 1 and they ask you for many. I repeat, whenever they give you the value for 1 and they ask you for many, you are supposed to do multiplication. So as you can see here, they have given for 1 month, he is saving rupees 50 for 1 month. You have to find how much he will save for 1 year. So 50 into 12. So when you multiply 50 into 12, you get the answer 600. So he saves 600 rupees in a year. So let's see one more example. In a factory, 3,525 clips are made per day. How many clips are made in 237 days? So they have given for one day. So they are manufacturing 3,525 clips in one day. How many clips are made in 237 days? So as I told you earlier, whenever they give you the value for one and they ask you for many, you are supposed to do multiplication. So you all know the important thing for multiplication is to write the statement. So first we'll be writing the statements. So we'll read the questions again. In a factory, 3,525 clips are made per day. How many clips are made in 237 days? So I know how many clips are made in one day. So I'm going to write that. That is number of clips made per day. That is 3,525. Then what data has been given to me? The number of days. So that is total number of days. That is 237. So after I write this, what am I supposed to do to find number of clips made in 237 days? Right? So I'm going to write that number of clips made in 237 days is equal to 3,525 multiplied by 237. So when you carry out the sum, you get the answer. That is 8,35,425 clips. So as you can see, I have performed all the steps. So instead of placeholder, if you see in the previous sum, the placeholder was given as multiplication sign. Here I have put zeros. So you can put both zeros or else multiplication sign. Both are